Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Menteri Katanat Puli Putih ke Jylla Rakkam Sangma henne kasngi ke nyau tarik ujelleo arajar arpulai ula ong baka sorkar kan Pyntreikam ni ke National Education Policy arajar arpo ha Baroh Kawei ke Jylla ula thoru baki don ki benta ki bahap ban penpau bat ki bandai kerpang ne ke benta ke Jylla Meghalaya Rakkam ula penrap ru de ka baong baka sorkar ka thrang ban penbahas su bat ban penbet ke Meghalaya State Education Policy namar ke National Education Policy jong stem arajar arpo kan jinjar ban Pyntreikam mardor ula ong ru baka jing penbahaya ke Meghalaya Education Policy kan don ke lenong ke bandai kerpang ne ke benta ke kolsor jong ke Jylla ki khlawat ki baya khun ban yo jinglait loj ke history pat ki breu jong ke Jylla.
What are the changes you are opting for in national education policy?
We have not decided the detail what plans to be there, but I think since we have all our Meghalaya education policy, we have already, and also we have the national education policy of the central government of India. So I think the Meghalaya chapter national education policy with adding the relevant which is suited for Meghalaya state environment. I think that new redraft of Meghalaya policy is online.
This Meghalaya chapter of national education policy, as you rightly said, but what what are the key things? Because we have seen that when it comes to even central textbook and CRT books, lot of things like democracy or periodic tables, democracy, and all these are removed. So in Meghalaya chapters, are you going for any special things where to give students the knowledge about our culture, our freedom fighter, our tradition, anything like that?
Yes, because there are many like chapter, there are many portions which very much needs to be prioritized of our state. So like we're talking about the policy, right? So the if we implement the entire policy of the NEP 2020, so there are certain sections, certain portions which it beyond our limit. So Meghalaya has certain limit or term of infrastructure or term of in all sector. I think the possibility will suit for our environment of our state. So we are planning to redraft to amend our Meghalaya education policy. So we can call it Meghalaya chapter. So I think this was what we are in planning.
This redrafting this Meghalaya education policy, what are the key ingredients that will be included in this Meghalaya?
Now I wasn't able to tell all this detail, but we are just plan in mind that I think the Meghalaya chapter has to be coming because all the what happened that contains in the NEP 2020. So I think as a state government, it may be beyond our ability to implement every points that have been incorporated in the NEP 2020.
So, like I was asking you, what about our Meghalaya cultures, freedom fighters, and all? Will they find space in this new Meghalaya?
Definitely. This is look. If you go, we talk about the history. If we talk about the history, we should not always forget about our own state, our culture, our peoples, our culture. Right? This is all that we have to display to show to the world that we have this asset. This are our asset, and we should not forget our history. So and yes, because the world has been updated. There will be, if you go to the science, what happened research discovered yesterday, it's no longer practical today, right? There are many instruments in the science, there are many devices which we should not, we don't use anymore. So there may be theory which does not work as of today. There are many scientists research, there are many theory, the scientists, great scientists, many across the globe for last many years. So I think as of today, look, the world has changed in such a way. The research, what was yesterday, it's no more today. It's what our world is today. Therefore, I think the updated, what do you call the all the books. I mean, the as of today. So what is today, it may not be tomorrow. So this is what the word it is.
No, you see, the new education policy, as I mentioned, a customized education policy for the state, is just not related to only unsung heroes or some, a particular a portion of history, but it is going to be an inclusive policy, which will require a hard work to be put in by a certain dedicated group of people. Now, these certain dedicated group of people will be constituted as a committee by the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister has already given direction to the Commissioner Secretary today to submit the list of the people who will form a committee. Now, this committee is going to sit. So we're going to draw people from different spheres, scholars, and so on. So therefore, they will put in their heads together and then draft this customized policy, wherein we'll incorporate everything, as I said, inclusively.
6 months, 7 months, we have heard a lot about unsung heroes of Northeast India. Many heroes, it's not only freedom fighters, many who have sacrificed their life in the Northeast India. They have not been well mentioned in the textbook in the Northeast India. It's not only the case in Meghalaya, in other states also. So will they find space in the textbook of Meghalaya?
Definitely, look, to be frank, I think the Northeastern Hill University first established in Shillong, in Meghalaya, part of it. And the Shillong was the second capital of the Assam in the British time. So I think, like, yes, Meghalaya is always known for at the top as a educational hub of the country, one of the educational hub of the country. It still looks towards now. I think it's time to, like, Meghalaya should lead. And also, as a northern state, as a troubled state of the country, we have contributed lot, and we will be contributing, and the world and the Indians should recognize, should acknowledge our contribution. And thanks to the government of India now, I think they are giving more priority, more focus towards the northeastern state, be it education, be it infrastructure, be it development in all sectors. I think Northeast have got a good space to present our asset and values, but also at the same time would like to urge all the research scholars of the region or academicians or experts to do more research, and the asset that we have, it may be on our unsung hero, it may be our resources, our natural resources. I think that has to be made in use today. This resources is our asset. So that not only for our asset, it's the asset for our country.
But with central government already going for national education policy, with the NCERT books being remade, so where do you think that our heroes, our culture will find space?
Look,
will you introduce something else for the students? What?
Yes, because I think there will be any wrong to do that, because as a state we will be always freedom to get in all our history or the fact. I think this is what the need of the hour, that we should make our children know what history was.
Center has dropped the crucial chapter like democracy, which is the essence of our entire constitutional system, from the NCERT book. What is your reaction? What is your reaction to that? Because democracy is not part of NCERT book anymore. Center has dropped it. So what is your reaction?
So what to say on this? But I what would like to say that what the history that we have, what the asset we have. I think if there is needs to be, we should inspire the nation. What quality that we have.
But what is your reaction that center has dropped democracy chapter from NCRT book? What is your reaction to that? If you can give a reaction to that.
But 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 I think so. I've not gone into the detail of all this. But to me, as a state, I think that all this what we call we are a country as a mother of all democracy. So this is nowhere in the world. So about all this, how it is possible if our students doesn't know of all this, right? How we will go ahead? The first to me, every students of the country should understand the beliefs of democracy. This is what I feel because we are this is our beauty. The world has acknowledged. If our students doesn't know about all this, I think it may be incorrect. It may be incorrect. But to me, like I think as a students, our institutions, we should more focus on giving about democracy and its values and its responsibility, right? So there are many students who are hardly care about all this. But to me, frankly, like democracy is our strength. It's a strength of our nation. It's a strength of every citizen of